And welcome back, YouTube land. We are still going, still playing Pokemon. It hasn't even been a minute since I last ended the last episode. And we're still kind of just waiting for the front desk lady to switch the Psyduck out for a Gengar. Because then I can go outside and break things. And by break things, I mean ruin someone's dreams. I really gotta remember to close the lid on that. Whatever you did yesterday is now a part of history. Today we will continue to unravel the marvels that history has presented to us. I think I phrased that weird. Why is that still happening? You'd think after the scene ended it would fix it. But no, it seems to be just an artifact of the code for her hair. Maybe it's happening because of the way she's bobbing her head. The only one that I'm really noticing is this one. That's the only one that bothers me because it's the one that's the most noticeable. But anyway, era lasted for This era lasted approximately for 1,000 years, but not a single soul was able to adventure all the way to the deepest reaches of Area Zero. Having poured much of its human and financial resources into the exploration of Area Zero for so long, the Paldean Empire fell into decline. 200 years later, or 800 years ago, the Empire and its surrounding nations united into one entity. This was the formation of Paldea as we know it today. Ah yes, this very academy where you're now filling your young minds with this knowledge was also apparently established at that time. In fact, this school building, though certainly having undergone repairs through the years, is just as it was when it was built so long ago. Neat! This very structure is a piece of history. Ah, things of old are truly splendid. But I would certainly prefer to not have the Pokeball portion. Wait. Huh? Though I certainly prefer it not to have the Pokeball portion, though. A relatively new addition. I'm fantastic at reading quickly, apparently. Aha! Perfect timing to make eye contact. Young Roek. No, it's not, you liar. Trying to stay out of the way. Let's see if you've been listening to my lecture. Tell me, approximately how many years ago was this academy of ours established? Excuse me. Yeah. Bad heartburn. Correct. Look at that look of concentration on your face. Was just indeed that. What? That was the sentence I originally read. The correct sentence. Correct. I see the look of concentration on your face was indeed just that. To be fair, I'm also the only one that has the ability to answer. The game puts them here as a test, and the rest are non-coded NPCs. This academy was constructed exactly 805 years ago, to be precise. In other words, your academy here is 805 years old. At the time, it offered state-of-the-art facilities and a uniquely innovative curriculum. As such, people used to say, Those seeking knowledge need look no further than the grapes of Paldea. That's right, they were referring to Yuva Academy. It is said that this proverb of sorts was even used outside of the Paldea region. Oh, it's that time already. I must have gotten swept up in filling your minds with knowledge. This ends today's lesson. Our next class will be our midterm exam. I am convinced that she is also related to Hop and Leon from Sword and Shield. You can't tell me with the way that she's designed that she's not. Like, her clothes are basically Leon's cape in terms of the frills and the outjuts. I will take the history midterm because I have nothing better to do. Class will start soon. Don't be late. Let's see how much of this I remember. The answer? Next to none of it. She also has, like, Leon's hair. Yep. Classes 4 and 8 are... or the 4th and the 8th time you go to each of these classes is a test. It's delightful! Now, you do get some special things for completing these, so it's not a bad idea to do them. But there are also things that you can get in... you get experience candies. Smalls for the midterms, mediums for the finals, and then if you do all of the finals and pass them, you get XP candies largest. Basically just ways to level up your Pokemon without actually doing any of the work. I'm pretty sure I aced that one, but there's one question that I might have fucked up. Because there were two things. Thanks! Let's find out. Did I win? Or did I only get a B? God, I'd hate to get a D minus. I know. Woohoo! Yeah. 5 XP candies, small. Keep doing your best. Would you kindly turn into a Gengar already? I'm tired of taking these classes. But at the same time, I'm going through and making sure I finish these classes because I'm at the I'm basically at the end of the game. Like, there's 3 more major events that I need to go through, and I'm waiting for one of them, and I'm refusing to do the third one. I'm saving it for last. Hoping to continue unraveling the marvels of history presented to us today. However, correct. And at this point, I'm just gonna ignore it. Allow me to tell you an old fairy tale that has been passed down in Paldea for generations. Once upon a time, there was a king who very much enjoyed collecting treasure. He was particularly fond of treasures from other countries. That was fucking rude of me. I'm so sorry. Fucking snorted right. And a set of beads. Seeing such rarities before him, the king leapt for joy. He showered the merchant with gold coins and claimed all 4 of the treasures for himself. What the fuck? Why would you stop the story mid-sentence just for this? What? Was I actually not speaking for most of that? Wooden planks for writing on, probably. Urgh. Oh, did I maybe pull the mic cable? That's possible. Hang on. Sometimes if the microphone gets knocked a little too loose, it stops working. Or it might have been noise gating, which would be just as annoying. That's frustrating. I'm sorry. Daily pursuit of knowledge helps you. Particular tablets were wooden, used as a writing medium in the East in ancient times. As you may know, they fell out of popular use as paper became more universally available. For the king to consider these paper substitutes treasures, they must have been of superb quality. That, or perhaps they had some amazingly profound teachings written on them. So the king obtained these 4 treasures, and on that very night, it is said that a terrible disaster rained down upon his castle. Hopefully, it was still caught by OBS and just, for some reason, not processed. I'll have to check. Let me make a note real quick so I remember. Pen. Oops, I did not mean to punch my microphone. I'm sorry. Check. About. What was that? 10 minutes to 12 minutes? Sag. Oh well. I'll get it figured out eventually. Worst case scenario, I'll just have to redub it. Which will be weird, but whatever. Said that a terrible disaster rained down upon his castle, reducing it to rubble by dawn. Oh, is that the time already? I wasn't done with my story, but alas, so ends today's session. If you're interested in how the story ends, you may come see me outside class hours. I'm assuming that's those mysterious stakes that I've been pulling out of the ground. In fact, I'm almost certain that's what it is. Would like to have more control, please. Thank you. Where do you want to go? I guess I'll go to the school store because I can't clear out the notification. Oh, interesting. Or you're boring. That was mean. Why not have a browse? Okay. The only fucking store you can walk into. I have $206,000. How many of these can I buy? Okay, so I can buy 68 of them before I run out of money, unless I wanted to use my, the other thing. My league points. Perfect. Oh, I still have 40 of those. That's great. What fan is on? Cool. Oh, I'm good. Goodbye. I love the power slides. Let's go to the biology lab and talk to the professor. Or the Mr. Jacques. Oh my god! It's their tails! The same species can be all sorts of different sizes. Yes. Hello, Jacques! What are you doing? Ah, hello, hello! Have you gotten used to the things here at the Academy, Roaki? Yes. Great! Glad to see you're having fun. Oh, have you been using the Pokédex app? I'm the one who made it, you know. Every time someone uses the app, catches a Pokemon, the data gets sent to me. It's really helping with my Pokemon research. Be sure to catch any new Pokemon you find, and work on filling in your Pokedex. For your first goal, let's aim for, say, 30. Register 30 Pokemon in your app. I see you've already registered 30 species of Pokemon to your Pokedex for me. This is the gremlin-esque voice that I was using for him earlier. So you've got this kind of Pokemon, and this one. All this data. This is the best. Sorry about that. I got a little excited there. But I get the feeling that you're going to be a great help in my Pokemon research. Microphone says I'm good. You can still hear me, correct? I mean, that wasn't what I was going for. I was going more for... I think that is the right word for what you were going for. Okay, cool. Is my stream delay set super high? That was weird. That took you a while to respond. But anyway, I was kind of more going for like a what's the word I want? What's the word I want? Help, brain, please restart. Like a kind of just like a whiny nerd with a weird sense of inflection. I obtained TM057. False swipe. Oh. Fair enough. Put it in your bag's pocket. Ooh, actually, I needed that. I mean, yeah, the voices I do kind of just come to me, for lack of a better term. There's one that I do that I haven't done in a very long while because it hurts my throat. That I have named Richard Maroney, but his friends call him Dis, as in disenchanted. Why are you not writing? Because he's very disenchanted with the world. He kind of just hates everyone and everything. But that's kind of life, I guess. It all sucks. Remember, when you find a Pokemon you've never seen before, give a Pokeball a throw. I see you've already registered 100 species of Pokemon to your Pokedex for me. Wow! Little Pokemon, big Pokemon. You even have data of Pokemon of this specific size? So much data! So much to analyze! You know what? Maybe I do, maybe I don't. You'll never find out. A little bit, yeah, I can see that. I could absolutely see Pleakley. Yeah! Kind of whiny, kind of nerdy. Kind of just wants to follow the rules all the time. I could see that voice being that way. Jacques, however, has more fun with his research and is therefore a bit more like if... Not Jamba. Yes, Jamba from Lilo and Stitch had Pleakley's voice. My Pokemon research is moving forward at a great pace thanks to your efforts. Consider it my way of saying thanks. Neat. I got 20 Ultra Balls. Wait. Let's aim for 2. Come on! Let me go! Shit! No! This is the first time I have wanted to run away from someone talking to me. At least here, in this game. You're a bona fide pro. Let's aim for 400. Jesus, thank you. It's nighttime. Must go outside. I must go outside. It is nighttime. Please, 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 please. Yay! To the doors. Oh, it's raining. Wait. Where the fuck am I supposed to go? In the schoolyard. What? So do I have to go, like, is there a specific schoolyard option on the map? To the table! Schoolyard! First, I need to do this, and then I'll go back to school. Hello, Cassiopeia. I mean, Penny. Penny, it's very clearly you. Come on. Just take off your hood. I know it's you. It's fine. Uh-oh. That's a very confident smirk. This must be quite a shock for you. The big boss, Cassiopeia. They were both me all along. Why do you look so confident in yourself now? Uh-oh. She is. And the fact that I know Team Star's, like, story, being that they were the ones being bullied and they lashed out against their bullies and caused a huge kerfuffle, with her being, like, the leader behind it all, the mastermind that came up with the plan, that sudden shift in her face from timid kid who just kind of doesn't want to deal with anything to that confident smirk worries me a lot. I saw you make quick work of those Team Star lackeys outside the school that time. The idea for Operation Starfall suddenly came to me. My skills let me get a hold of as much LP as I want, so I decided to use that to tempt you into helping me out. After the operation started, I kept my eye on you as a member of the, quote, supply unit. And I had you battle the bosses on my behalf. All for the goal of defeating me and putting an end to Team Star once and for all. But still, there's a part of me that wants Team Star to live on. Can't just roll over and let you win without putting up a fight. This is the final showdown. Are you ready? Yes. Clive, what are you doing back here? Ha ha ha. This is going to be rather problematic. I can feel it. He's not. Clavel is still Clive. I don't know why he decided to go back to that after revealing himself. I'm the big boss of Team Star. The name's Cassiopeia. No. Penny. God, I love her eyelashes, though. Sorry, that's a weird thing to focus on. But I do. Bow down before the overwhelming might of Team Star's founder. Please? Oh dear. You're way more confident in yourself than you should be. That's fine. Pokemon. Oh, fuck. Shit. What is it that's super effective against Dark? It's fighting. So I need you. This could be problematic, I swear. It's fine. Go, Lucario! I wasn't aware of what she was going to start with. And, of course, my attack falls once. That's fine. Because now I'm only doing... Oh! It's fine, because I'm a special attack. Why do you know Psychic? That is for Espeon, not Umbreon. What are you doing? Flareon? And you want me to switch? Yeah. Do I have fun with it? Or do I have fun with it? Let's have some fun, Penny. Fun with a capital F? Oh, you can use your baby doll eyes all you want, baby doll. I've made that weird. I regret making that weird. That's fair. F is for friends who do stuff together. U is for uranium bombs. N is for no survivors. Send out a Jolteon? Oh, you shouldn't have. You mean to tell me I get to do this again? Hey, those aren't mutually exclusive things. I can enjoy the physical look of something, while also wanting to ruin everything about it. I made that even weirder. What is being sent out? Oh. This could be a problem. I didn't see what it was before I hit A. I think I'll bury it in a bunch of rocks. Owie! That did a little bit of damage. Besides, Pokemon's a game about winning, not letting things, or not losing on purpose. No, I did turn off the chat. I turned it off specifically for visibility. Oh, I wasn't paying attention and my Garchomp fainted. It's because it wasn't doing enough damage. Unfortunate. But that's fine. We can just do one of these and it'll be delightful. Like, I don't care. You can drop my physical attack all you want. I am a special attacker. It's about to send out Sylveon. Oh, I don't have anything that can deal with Fairy. Do I? Oh, yes, I do. This is what you get for being purely fairy type. I'm only gonna hurt you really, really bad. Metal Claw. How delightful. Please don't be anything other than a fairy type. That would be unfortunate for me. How is it that at the beginning of the game you're told by Nimona that your Terra Orb is something you have to take a special class for that's really hard to get into? Uh-oh. That's a problem. Your what? Ow! Alright, Lucario. I know you're in love, but we really gotta win this fight. Thank you, Lucario. I was saying something. I was in the middle of saying something, and I distracted myself. Oh, gosh. Excuse me. That was a good stretch, though. $15,000. It's finally over, guys. It's done. Oh, no, not another cutscene, please. No. I don't want to be heartbroken. Would you call it quits? The team got to be choking. Carried away with Operation Star. Now everything's gotten out. Well, that's what happens when you round up a bunch of bullies in the courtyard and make a show of learning them some manners. Didn't even fight him in the end. We didn't do anything wrong. Indeed, merely due to our clear intention to battle tooth and nail should the villains persist in their tyrannous oppression. It was a bloodless victory, we assure you. Yeah, they didn't even send out their Pokémon. They just blubbered and apologized a whole lot. Our outfits must have spooked him good. But the bullies made a huge stink about what went down. They all ended up leaving the academy. Our plan backfired epically. There's no way we're getting off scot-free. Guess you're right. This might put us up the creek. I'll fix this on my end. Just leave it to me. What are you saying? I'm the one who started it. I dragged you all into this. I'll take responsibility for everything. Now that the bullies are gone, you should start going to school again. Oh yeah? What about you? I can't go back. There's no reason for you to stay shut in your room anymore. All I can say to you guys is thanks. Even though we never met in person, you were all so kind to me. I need to go take care of some things. Us, answer us. Oh. Bye, guys. Thanks for everything. Look, my job in these games is to win, but I end up coming out the loser here because I feel bad for doing exactly what I'm supposed to do. No. I don't disagree with you. Except In order to beat her story, I have to beat her. I just end up the loser in every situation. That's why I knew I could use it to force Team Star to disband. Do anything the code required of them, even leave the team. Yes. And according to the code, they had to accept any challenge made to them. Thus, the idea for Operation Starfall. Let me ask you one last thing. What do your friends in the team mean to you? They're my greatest treasure. Aww. Splendid. Thank you for apprising me of the situation, Miss Penny. But now, young lady, there's something I should very much like to discuss with you. Hey, quit it with the old geezer act, Clive. You're creeping me out. Penny, you can't tell me you didn't see this as Director Clavel the whole time. Like, literally all he did was put on a different jacket and wear shorts. He's wearing the same freaking shoes, same shape frames. He's just wearing tinted lenses with black frames instead of silver and clear. And he swept his hair up in an updo. That's it. He washes the mousse out, and his hair goes flat. Back to the way it was, dangling by the sides of his face, like literally everyone else in this game. That is not true. That is, in fact, patently not true. I can see because I have my glasses on, and I'm not taking them off. Well, before we talk further, allow me to reveal to you my own secret identity. Bro, it sounds like you're gonna drop trowel. Ha-ha! Director Clavel, no! Just as Cassiopeia was your disguise, the boy you knew as Clive was mine. But why? I needed a way to talk to Team Star on equal terms. Called it! Students do tend to shy away from speaking their mind to their teachers, after all. Much more so when faced with the director of the academy. Yeah, but where do I even start? Wasn't the outfit a bit much? Plus, I have some big feelings about that wig. Ahem. Well, that's quite enough of that for now. Everyone, why don't you come on out? Gasp! Huh? Yo, boss. Long time no see. Momo. Momo? Who the fuck is Momo? Of course it was. I saw the face she was making and knew exactly what sound. What are you calling a maid? What? Hang on. I need a better a better shot. Her? Her name is Aerie, if you're talking about... You're talking about the one in, like, the frilly stuff? That's Aerie, and she's... Okay. She's actually not a maid. She's a luchadora. Yeah, she's actually a luchadora. A female luchador. Or at least that's her stage presence? Her character? I'm not sure what you would call it. That's what the intent was, at least. Each of you young bosses. Huh. No, don't be sorry for that. You're absolutely right. I thought it was a bit of a weird maid outfit at first myself. But once you get deeper into the story, you realize, especially since she's the fighting team, or the group of the fighting team, um, it makes more sense as a luchadora instead of a battle maid. Although you could argue she is a battle maid luchadora, which I think would be fantastic to see in the ring. Whips out a feather duster and just starts slapping people in the face with it. Oh boy, the images I can conjure up with just a few words in my own head. And now then, Miss Penny, and each of you young bosses as well. On behalf of the Academy, I have something I would like to say to Team Star. You all have my sincerest apologies. Come again. As director of the Academy, I let you down. My handling of your situation was a dismal failure. You weren't even the director. You took over the one who failed them. Honestly, though, I think Mila's, the gal in the fucking hip-high boots, second in from the right, is even cooler. Kinda? I think so. I may have a thing more for the goth types, though. So, there's that. He is a rich boy from a very privileged family, because his mother, I think it is, or his father, I think it's his dad, is the CEO of... Oh, see, here's my favorite part. Women. But anyway, because that was strange of me to say out loud. The short one. Rich boy, second in from the left, is like the heir to a huge company, so he's got lots of money. He always dresses fancy, and he's expected to do a lot of things that he doesn't want to do. He likes working on cars. The one in the middle is like a Shakespearean ninja. It's the best way I can describe it with the way he talks. And then, of course, so Luchadora, and that's about all I remember of her portion of the story, because that's all that was, I think, revealed. Rich boy from fancy family. He, if I remember, so... Right. She was bullied because she's, like, statuesque and very pretty in terms of what the narrative is. I'm not saying she's not, but the narrative, she was a transfer from another school or whatever, and, like, on her first day, she outshined all of the popular girls, so they started picking on her. Despite her wanting to be a wrestler, and everyone thought she was so much cooler. So the popular girls started bullying her. He was less... Ortega was less bullied by students, as far as I recall. More, he just felt outcast by his family more than anything else, because he wants to be... He likes working on cars and with mechanics and stuff like that. Whereas his family wants him to be this privileged rich guy, white guy type personality where all he does is order people about and not get his hands dirty, and that's what he wants to do. His parents forced him to take piano lessons every day since he was a kid. I don't fully remember much of his story because I fought him second out of all 5 of these folk, out of all 6 of Team Star. But Atticus, the ninja kid, he likes to sew. He made all of their costumes, and he fucking killed it. I'll say that right fucking now. He killed it. Mila, the red one, she originally was working to train up a bunch of... For this, at least. She was working for Operation Star. I'm good at keeping my thoughts in order. For Operation Star, Mila was kind of in charge of training up a bunch of Char Cadet, which are native to the Paldea region, to be able to power the buses that Ortega kind of rigged up for them. And then I fully forget his name, but he's a DJ. That's his thing. He made the soundtracks for all of their fights, as far as the story is concerned, because a program can't make the music for the thing the program's in after until the program has been made. But that's still kind of not easy. But he killed that soundtrack. Their soundtrack is phenomenal. But anyway, back to the story. I still... I mean, why? You all told me about your reasons for forming Team Star and about your subsequent actions. Ever since my first days as director, all I've ever experienced of this academy, especially since she's basically a martyr. The main point of her personality is she will be there to protect her friends at her own expense in any situation, regardless of the situation or what it demands of her. She will do everything she can, even pulling 3 all-nighters in a row and collapsing mid-battle. If that's what it takes, that's what she's gonna do. They're all precious and fantastic people. And I hate that they were all bullied, because they easily could be the coolest people ever. Oh, right. The guy that did the soundtracks, he wasn't bullied, but he got fed up being held to all the rules and whatnot, because he was actually part of the student council. He was the student council president, I think, before Operation Star. Because he just got tired of upholding all of those stupid rules that were made, some of which at his own offering. He just got tired of it all and said, fuck it, let's burn it to the ground. And I am here for it. But anyway, an experience of the Academy is an environment blessedly free from bullying. But I know this place was built on the backs of your hurt and anger, and of course, your immense courage into putting things right. Or in putting things to right. And so I'll get straight to the conclusion. The Academy's order for Team Star to disband, and my threat to expel those who did not obey, are hereby revoked. Does that mean what I think it means? I have no idea, because I'm not sure what you think it means. Team Star can continue to exist, should that be your wish. Now we can all stay together! Oh, mine heart is giddy with glee. But I betrayed all of you. You mean Operation Starfall? Director Clavel told us all about it. As far as we heard, you only went through with it to save us from getting expelled. You were just worried about us, right? Not like we'd ever chuck the team just because someone told us to, after all. It ain't our style. I cannot even begin to imagine how you must have feared for us, Lady Penny. Sorry for making you worry for us, BB. We're all okay now. Aw. Y'all are so precious. Hold on, everyone. I've got more to say. As previously stated, the requirement for Team Star to disband has been revoked. However, there's still some unsettled matters to discuss. My brain fully broke for a second. Allow me to provide a few examples. Your protracted truancy, your brazen customization of school uniforms, your unauthorized usage of academy equipment, your reckless modification and jeopardous driving of Pokemon-powered vehicles. Need I go on? Your flagrant disregard for school rules cannot simply be overlooked. There we go. There's the teacher. Thus, as punishment, you will all be required to engage in community service. Community service? Yes. Specifically, I will be asking you to manage the STCs. I have no idea what those are either. Hang on. And that stands for Star Training Centers. They shall be faculties for cultivating Pokemon trainers' talents. I plan for the Academy to found them in collaboration with the Pokemon League. This idea came to me when I saw Master Roeki battling his way through your bases. The base's construction, as well as the battle tactics employed by the students in Team Star, are remarkably unique and creative. I would ask that you continue your team activities, but henceforth as STC staff members, using your former bases as training facilities. And that is the summary. Does anyone have any concerns? No? I don't see how... It sounds like fun, so I don't see how this would be anything but a win-win. It's maybe a weird thing to say since the STCs are supposed to be a punishment and all, but... You should totally join in too, Penny. It's true. We would most happily have you at our sides, my lady. We can go to school together too. That way, if anything happens, we'll be there to protect you. Giacomo. Ah, that's right. His name is Como. That's why I couldn't remember it, because it's hard for me to say. We're already talking about how great to have both Team Star and school in our lives. Then why didn't you just fucking come back to school? This would be a sweet deal for us. So what do you say? You guys. Roiki, what do you think? I think it sounds great. But I just no need to give your response right this moment, Miss Penny. Do take some time to decide. For now, at least, I think our little group should go their separate ways. Ah, not to say you should break up Team Star. After all, I simply meant it's time to leave. Translation: beat it, kids! Master Roeki, please stop by my office later if you would. Ah, yes. I have... Oh, good. It's saved. Whee! Where do you want to go? Beep bum beam bum beep doo. I don't want to go to the director's office. I'm gonna go to class. I need to go to history class and pretend like I remember anything. I did not want the midterm. Although, this will help. If it decides to load anytime soon! I don't know why, but my 5 gigahertz frequency just sucks! I think it's because of some of the other stuff connected to the network. Okay, I trust you all remember our lesson before the midterm concerning the great crater of Paldea and its interior, Area Zero. The mysterious crater captured the imaginations of many, including the former Paldean emperor. 200 years ago, a group of explorers claimed to have finally reached its depths. The name of the team that achieved this great feat was the Area Zero Expedition. This team is said to have been made up of Paldea's best and brightest. Skilled battlers, brilliant researchers, talented individuals of all kinds. It's still twitchy! Among the list of team members was the name of a man who was an author and brilliant natural historian, Heath. After returning from the expedition to Area Zero, he used his literary talents to record the events of the expedition and publish them. Sure! Should have been the survey car! That was probably very loud, and I'm sorry. To pick up on and remember a term, I simply slipped into the flow of the lecture. You are really quite the clever one. Perfect. That is precisely my brand. Ordered chaos. I'd say organized, but, well, ordered and organized are synonymous with one another. Kind of. Do not use me as your study guide for anything other than stupidity. If you want to learn how to be more stupid, that would be me. This record is known as the Violet Book. At the time, the entire region of Paldea was absolutely buzzing about Area Zero. The Violet Book was so popular that practically everyone had a copy. However, the book itself was full of fantastical descriptions and illustrations of things that could never be thought of as real. The masses began to call Heath a liar. Even the truth of the expedition making it to the bottom of the crater was called into question. The Violet Book was condemned to the shelves of used bookstores as just another book of wild paranormal stories. That is delightful to know. There's a copy of one on the bookshelves of the ground floor at the entrance hall. Feel free to have a read if you're interested. Oh, is it that time already? I must have gotten swept up with filling your minds with knowledge. Whatever will we do? This ends today's lesson. We will unravel more of history's enigmas together next time. All right, well. There is, in fact, one last thing that I must do as far as the story is concerned before I can get into Area Zero to finish the game. But I'm not going to do it yet until I've finished all the classes. Greetings, my little students. Whatever you did yesterday is now a part of history. Today is our last class, so I'd like to unravel the marvels that history has presented to us. One last time. In our last class, I taught you about the Area Zero expedition of 200 years ago, correct? Alas, 200 years ago was not that long ago. Not that long ago at all. How unfortunate that our history lessons... Excuse me. 'Twas a yawn. How unfortunate that our history lessons must march so inexorably towards the future. Would it not be more of an adventure to march towards the past instead? To start from our present and study history in reverse? I'm pretty sure that's, like... No, I just need to actually sleep more. Naps don't help. They keep me awake, and that makes it harder for me to get to sleep. I do, however, need to go refill my water. Momentarily. The technology behind the Terra Orb has its origins in Area Zero. Sorry, I was leaning over too far and my microphone had apparently blocked my face. Even after the Area Zero expedition supposedly reached the crater's deepest depths, others continued to explore the area. And around 140 years ago, Pokémon cloaked in mysterious light were discovered there. As many of you have already guessed, these were in fact I may very well have, in which case I apologize. I do that a lot. I really should keep my mic further away from my face, but then I feel I don't get as much impact when I need to. These were, in fact, terrestrialized Pokémon. However, when those who discovered these Pokémon brought them out of Area Zero, the light faded and the terrestrial phenomenon, that's a mouthful of a word. Doesn't fit well in your mouth at all. Remained a mystery for quite some time. However, 10 years ago, and that might as well be present day, a certain someone you have definitely heard of unraveled this mystery. Perfect timing to make eye contact. Young Roeki, answer me this! What is the name of the famous professor who unraveled the terrestrial phenomenon mystery? Fuck, bitch, I don't know. Turo? Hey, look at that. It also could have been me closing the lid on my water. Because it's very loud when I snap the lid closed. That may also have been it. You must be very diligent in your studies. Approximately 10 years ago, a professor named Turo unraveled the mystery of the terrestrial phenomenon. He discovered that the shining crystals down in Area Zero, or rather, the energy they emit, is what causes Pokémon to terrestrialize. This led the professor to invent Terra Orb technology and develop a practical use for it. This technology was then shared with both the Pokémon League and our Academy. Rumor has it that Director Clavel was one of the researchers on the professor's team. Alas, this story is much less exciting now that someone we all know appears in it. Modern history is truly dull, isn't it? I think you have rose-colored glasses, my dear. Okay. I am going to... I'm going to run and take a quick bio break and refill my water real quick. Not at the same time, mind you. And I will be right back. Enjoy the music! Excuse me. That was actually kind of rude. Just burping into your ear when you can't yell at me for it. Now then, I have returned. It's time. Nope. Back. I would like to take my test, please. I mean, I wasn't trying to be stealthy about it, but thank you. Thank you for the benefit of the doubt. Now I need to scroll down. Yes, I'd like to take my history final. Class will begin soon, don't be late. It's time for our final exam. Summon your historical knowledge from the dark recesses of your mind and answer the questions, please. What is the area within the great crater of Paldea called? Area 0. How many years was this academy founded? 805. Which of these did not appear in the Paldean fairy tale about the 4 treasures? B. A folding fan. Which Area 0 expedition member wrote the record of the team's activities? Was it A. Leif, B. Thief, or C. Heath, as in ledger? How many years ago did Professor Turo invent the Terra Orbs? 10. Time's up! Put your pencils down! I've become Gremlin again. You must excuse that last question is too shallow and ridiculous to be on a history list. I mean, I don't believe you, but okay. But alas, the director forced me to include it. Well, to be fair... Thank you. I appreciate. I mean, to be fair, it is a rather important piece of Paldean history, so it does kind of need to be on the test, despite only having happened 10 years ago. Hell, I guarantee you, in the real world, once we're actually finally well and truly out of the pandemic, because we're still kind of in the trailing dregs of it, we're going to start seeing in history books, more modern ends of the books, the last few chapters, there will be mentions of the pandemic that's been happening for the last 2, going on 3 years now. Hopefully, somewhat soon, we actually get out of it, like, fully. We're mostly there, but the fact that people are still failing to acknowledge that it's a problem, or that it's been a problem for as long as it has been, is what's keeping us from moving past it. And not just in a, oh, I acknowledge that kind of way. More in a, we need to acknowledge it so we can accept that it has had impact on our lives. And we need to adapt to the changes that we've had to make. Feels great to get a test out of the way, doesn't it? Let's take a look at your results. You must get 3 questions correct to pass midterms and 4 questions correct to pass your finals. Let's see how you did on your history test. You answered 5 out of 5 correctly. Did you cheat? That's a passing score. Congratulations. Ms. Reifert asked us to give this reward to any students who passed the exam. You obtained 5 XP Candies Medium. You put the XP Candies Medium in your bag's other items pocket. Keep doing your best. With Mr. Salvatore. You can kind of see a bit of a skull in the logo for the school. Towards the bottom there. I'll show you next time it pops up. My dear friends, how are you all today? Feeling absolutely fantastic, I hope. It's time for Salvatore's language lesson. I'm not going to try and pronounce that because I don't speak enough French. I know enough to recognize that it is French, but I don't know enough to pronounce it correctly, and I don't want to screw it up. Are you ready, everyone? You can answer with yes or oui. Oi! C'est super! In our last class, I believe I taught you all how to say thank you in other languages, right? Le cours de jard. No, can't speak. Today's class, we will learn about a certain word sure to make people happy when you use it in your travels abroad. What word, you ask? Well, you'll have to guess. Delicious. I can piece it together. Hachi? Right? Boy, I really don't want to be screwing that up. Right? Buono. I'm butchering those. I should stop talking. Using the local word for delicious at markets or restaurants is sure to get a big sourire, a smile. Sourire. Nope, I'm just bad at languages. Teach me how to pronounce them, and I'll say them better. It'll make communication go more smoothly, I guarantee you. You know, guys, he's not wrong. People love it when someone says the cuisine of their homeland is delicious. Who wouldn't be, Hurero, happy to receive such a compliment? I love that he's got a Raichu tail pin on his lapel. It's spectacular, I love it. He's also a very fancy lad. I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of jealous of his style. Not his hairstyle, though. Just his fashion. After all, it's not very likely that a compliment will put someone in a bad mood. This doesn't only apply to people in other regions either. It's the same for all of you, too. You can put this tip to use with your classmates. After class, I bet it'll make for an ambiance plus sympathy. A more friendly atmosphere. Sympathy. I screwed it up again. A prochaine course. Next lesson, that is. Adios, matane. So, you've got like the top bit of the skull there. You got the eyes, the nose, and teeth. Well, helps if I had selected it. Right there at the bottom. We'll see it again in just a moment. Actually, I should... I mean, yes. But it wouldn't be a full black tie suit. Not a Secret Service suit or anything like that. But that can't really happen in my current form. Mostly because I don't have the shoulders to keep the shirt on. Eventually, though. It's something I'm actually working on. Try and make things a little bit easier for me to speak without a million things happening at once. I mean, I could find a Hawaiian shirt PNG and just like pin it to the underside of my model. Or of my current model, but that would just be vacation time. And I don't need that to go on vacation. You like languages with Mr. Salvatore? Class will begin soon. Don't be late. So yeah. Like you've got the eyes right there, the little inside of the nose bone, and the teeth. My dear friends, how are you all today? You certainly look fantastic. It's time for another one of Salvatore's language lessons. Êtes-vous prêt? Êtes-vous prêt? I could ask people that I know who speak French how to say that. I'm just too lazy to. Also, what is Nimona doing in this class, but not in my first class? Ahem. Yes. Did I say something wrong? Oh. We did not respond. Very sad when no one speaks up. Correct. In today's class, we'll learn about a very special phrase you can put to use. I don't think she's gonna skip a class. I wouldn't put it past her being so battle addicted the way she is, but I don't think that's why she's not in, like, the bio class. It's the only one I haven't seen her in. I don't think. No, there's one or two that I just don't see her in. Ashitero. Uh-oh. Je t'aime. Te amo. Ah! I love you. You deserve a medal d'or. Or a gold medal. Je t'aime, te amo, ich liebe dich. I butchered that German. These three phrases you may know, I think. Why? Because they're all quite famous ways to say I love you. Oh my. Have I embarrassed you all, my friends? What shy boys and girls? It's so very important to express your feelings about things to others, you know? This is especially true for positive emotions. If you get married someday and argue with your spouse over some silly little thing, all you have to do is apologize and say, I love you. And all will be well. I should know. Just last week I had a big argument with my dear wife. But I was quick to say I'm sorry, and all was well. I think you have a better relationship with your wife than you might guess. Sometimes people like to stay angry. And now, apropos of nothing, let me give you all one of my wise words of advice. It is best to be quick to apologize when you have an argument with someone. This goes for your families, friends, and your crushes. I know you can do it. I believe in you. And that is actually a very wise piece of advice, something that you should do. If you're wrong or you make a mistake, admit it. Don't put off admitting it. Be the first one to say that you were wrong. It does you no good to sit back and wait for people to say that you made a mistake. It does nothing but break others' trust in you, and is not useful. Right? It is actually really nice that they're giving real-world advice in a video game that's been made for almost 30 years. I was 2 years old when Pokemon came to the United States. I am confused. I'm not familiar with the tale of Despero. Gracias, arigato, merci, and Shiji all share the same meaning. What is it? Why, it's thank you. Which of the following means delicious? Au revoir, delicieux, or ni hao? I'm gonna go with B, delicieux. Which of these phrases doesn't belong? Time to eat. Itadakimasu. When speaking with a person, what's the first step to smooth communication? You should compliment them. Oh. I was confused for a moment. I was like, wait, what? Why does this feel like a trick question? It wasn't, thankfully. Let's see. 5 out of 5 correct. Oh boy! Can't wait to do the battle studies. That one seems like it'd be the most fun. I might save that one for last. We're halfway there. It's time for another lesson. Oui. Oui, oui. Hang on. After looking it up, I could kind of see that. Let's go for it. My assistant. Pikachu! Hello. Pikachu. As you just heard, the Pokemon can also use words to communicate. It's not always easy for us to understand them, but their words have meaning just as ours do. The Tale of Despero. Wasn't coming to mind immediately. I didn't mean to sound French when I said Pikachu. Did I sound French with Pikachu? What? The location of food or whether there may be predators nearby. Same Pokemon's cries may sound different depending on what it wants to say. I'm sure you're all curious, so today that is to learn some Pokemon language. If you would be so kind, Pikachu. Pikachu! What emotion do you suppose Pikachu was trying to convey just? I mean, yes, actually. You should, if you don't like saying Roeki, because that's what Roeki translates to. Ow. Oops, bumped my microphone again. I'm really good at that. But at least it wasn't, like, a really hard one. I appreciate that. Thank you. It's always been kind of a dream of mine to do voices for a living. I am somewhat attempting to voice act and whatnot, but it's not like a super high priority on my list of stuff to do, because I have I technically have 2 jobs counting streaming, and I just don't have much time outside of them. When Pikachu says, except they could have made the face change more. Pika. That didn't sound quite right. It's using its angry voice. That's right, I had my little Pikachu friend pretend to be angry for us. Correct. Give Pikachu a round of applause, everyone. Don't you think he did a great job? This is actually super cute, though. The same Pokemon can even communicate its feelings in many different ways. Their voices change depending on their mood and physical condition. Try listening more carefully to Pokemon. You might gain I missed the pause there. Let's try that again. Try listening more carefully to Pokemon. You might gain a deeper understanding of them. That having been said, Pokemon are quite mysterious creatures. I mean, I could. I could also just stream less. Because thank you, actually. That I think is one of the most unique compliments I've gotten about my voice. Usually I just get the "you have a great voice for radio," which I get when I'm at work, my other job, when I'm talking with customers. I tend to put on a more smooth kind of inflection that for some reason I just can't get while I'm sitting in my chair. I have to be standing to obtain it. Some don't actually understand with words at all, but instead use things like electromagnetic or ultrasonic waves. Some even use telepathy. And now, apropos of nothing, let me give you all one of my wise words of advice. Pokemon too many times while washing them during picnics, they get mad at you, just like Pikachu just demonstrated. Aposhan? I think I read that correctly in the brief second it was on screen. Language 5. Yes, please. Class will begin soon. Don't be late. My dear friends, how are you all today? I hope you're doing marvelously well. It's time for another of Salvatore's language lessons. Are you ready? Oh, maybe I can hit the same kind of smooth inflection that I have while I'm at my other job. You know, it actually is pretty fun. I wasn't expecting to enjoy the language class as much as I did, or as much as I do, but I think that may have something to do with the fact that the other classes are a bit more... I had more fun in, like, my language class in high school than I did in others. Rephrasing that, because in the public school system where I'm at, there are technically two different language classes. There's your language arts, which is like English and social studies, and then there's actually a language class, i.e. Spanish, French, German, non-English classes, basically. Whereas English, you're, books, writing book reports and essays and learning how to effectively get your point across while also bullshitting your way through it, because I did, yeah. My high school only had the one offering for Spanish. They didn't have any other languages because it was more of a like diet trade school. We had other, like, instead of having just your standard schooling, like your English, your math, your sciences, your language, your foreign language class, and the occasional like elective such as band or whatnot. My high school, your electives were trades like construction, manufacturing, electric, or electric for like being an electrician, or drafting or radio communications and stuff like that. And what I went through there, I went through the manufacturing line my senior year because my original line that I went through, they decided because they didn't want that teacher there to just get rid of the whole major, because otherwise he would have just been tenured there. And I'm kind of okay with that, despite it not having been what my dream is still. I actually get a lot of inspiration from watching videos like Michael Reeves and whatnot, because he's fully a mad scientist, and I have wild ideas like he does. Not quite as overtly dangerous or destructive usually, but wild and crazy ideas like that, which is truly what I want to be, what I wanted to be growing up. They didn't. I mean, yes, sort of. The teacher they had for that major, they ended up bringing back in my junior year, my third year of high school, because the teachers union basically like just said, you need to give him a job. And don't get me wrong, I didn't not like that teacher. I just didn't like his teaching style for what he wanted, or for that class. Because the way he viewed it, what I told him I wanted to learn out of the class, which is like one of the things he had us do in the first week of the year. We like had to tell him what we wanted to do. It was basically like a self-study kind of thing. And when I told him what I wanted to do, which was learn programming, he straight up told me, cool, you're going to go check out a book from the school library, and you're basically going to be on your own, because I hate programming. It's a mess and sucks. And he's not wrong, but that's not the kind of thing you should be telling a young, impressionable teenager when they're telling you they want to learn this thing. Because it doesn't help you, and it doesn't help them. You know? I am much less of a robotics engineer than I was in high school. I did join the school's robotics club my sophomore year and kind of learned most of my programming skills from that. And those have long since gone rusty, because that was 10 years ago. But yeah, it's those are the things that I do in my spare time when I'm not. Oh, he wasn't being snarky about it. He was being genuine when he said he does not like programming. Because I get it. People who aren't good at it tend to hate it, because it's not an easy thing to do when you've got one misplaced comma in your robot causing it to activate and deactivate when it shouldn't. Something I learned from one of the people who actually taught me how to program from the robotics club, because that was a thing that happened to one of his programs for a robot that we had built for a competition. Which made that robot significantly more dangerous than it needed to be, despite already being, what was it? I think it was like a 3 foot by 4 foot steel frame, like a rolling table with a soccer ball kicker that could spin fast enough to kick a soccer ball at about 55 miles an hour, if I remember the story correctly. I wasn't there for that part of the build. I came in after that comment. But the robot was still there for like display purposes and teaching and whatnot. And boy, let me tell you, when a robot can do that and kick a soccer ball at you at 55 miles an hour, that's terrifying when it just activates and deactivates on its own. They did finally figure it out, and I managed to somehow sort of program emotions into a robot at one point. During a competition, I was trying to update the code for it because I was my team's programmer, and I don't know how, and I don't know why, but it refused to connect to the computer so that I could update the code until we started winning in like these scrimmage matches. I don't know how. I don't know why, but it just would not connect for any reason. We need to get back to this, though. I'm distracting myself with stories of high school. Something that happened 10 years ago that I really don't think I need to focus on. Pikachu! Uh-oh. Evil, no. Chaotic, stupid? Yes. Je t'aime prêt? That, I mean, the animation is exactly the same, so that's not helpful. Sounded a little bleak, doesn't it? Its voice seemed a little bit lower pitched, too. What emotion do you suppose Pikachu was trying to convey just now? Sad. No, Salvatore, I don't believe it was quite that funny. Yes, Pikachu did a great job. It's delightful. One of my wise words of advice. If you hear one of your Pokemon making sad noises like this one, you should treat them with even more kindness than usual. Well, you probably already knew that, though. A piece of cake for you all, I'm sure. Of course, this goes for your classmates and others as well. Yeah. Oh, come on. I should not have made that much noise while removing the lid to my cup. So I could put a straw back through the lid, and hopefully not have to worry too much about making noise while drinking. Good old dihydrogen monoxide. It's a very dangerous chemical to be drinking. Every single living thing that drinks it dies. But you die a whole lot faster if you don't drink it. So remember, kids, hydrate. Don't mind me. Interested in classes? Good evening, Master Roeki. What class would you like to take? Language 6. after this one, no, I think I'll continue until I take the final. At which point, I will then what's the word I want? But then I'll break the video again. Or the recording, I mean. Go for it, my assistant Pikachu.
Pikachu.
Yeah, I record my streams so I can put them up on YouTube for posterity, because Twitch will only let me hold them for 7 days. And I want to be able to hold them for a lot longer than that. So while I'm streaming, I'm recording and attempting to also follow. Yes. In fact, that is the answer to this question. What emotion do you suppose Pikachu was trying to convey just now?
Happy.
But yeah, no, I just stop recording and start a new one. Makes life so easy. Because then videos on YouTube are only an hour to 2 hours long versus the 8-ish hours that I go when I'm streaming. It helps with that click-through rate and whatnot on the YouTube algorithm. Despite, hopefully, I've learned some rather distressing things in the last few days about YouTube. Mostly in that they are being sued for their algorithm. Considering it does unfortunately push very polarizing and bad things occasionally. I mean, I'm pretty sure it still wants to explode at some point. I haven't gotten the... I mean, it's still running really warm, but there's not a lot I can do about that without a new cooling system, and I just haven't had the chance to order one yet. But it's doing better, mostly because I'm... Oops. Did not mean to do that. Not really. I mean, it depends on when the swear happens. Right now, the rules are you can't swear within the first few minutes of the video. I think it's the first 8 minutes. But I'm also not a big enough channel for it to impact me right now. But, you know, you practice how you play. I get too comfortable swearing all the time, and let me tell you, it ain't gonna be a fun time trying to make money on YouTube. But the algorithm pushes some bad things, and someone's suing for that very reason, and it could potentially, in the worst case scenario, based off of the video I watched about the situation, it could, in the worst case scenario, end up like just pulling the algorithm down completely, so no channels can grow anymore. There's no new growth from appearing on like a For You page or anything like that. I'm hoping that doesn't happen. It shouldn't, realistically. But it would definitely not be a fun time for content creators if that were the case. Because it wouldn't just be YouTube and Google where the algorithm gets torn down. It would end up applying to the internet as a whole, because this case is going straight to the Supreme Court. So, yeah. As you live your lives, I'm sure you will all have times when you get sad and mad, or maybe even more than you would like. Everything has its ups and downs. Life is a veritable roller coaster. But, à la fin, in the end, that is, there surely is happiness awaiting for you. I mean, it's still doing okay. The problem is YouTube has to treat things as a... they have to treat things differently because as a company, YouTube and Google get a lot of their money from advertisers. YouTube channels also get a cut of that money. So when you see a monetized channel where you've got, you know, the pre-roll ads, and the mid-rolls, and whatnot, if there's too much non-brand friendly interaction in that video, i.e. the person in the video is just dropping F-bombs left and right, swearing up a storm and enough to make a sailor's ears turn red, because you know the joke around sailors is they swear a lot. If you've got something like that, advertisers aren't going to want to have their brands associated with that content. So YouTube has to proactively demonetize those videos. There are channels that'll fully get demonetized with enough strikes on them for things like that, and other things as well. All in all, being a content creator is not an easy job. But at the same time, it's easy enough that there is a very low cost of entry. All you really need is a phone and an internet connection, which you can get just by going to your local Starbucks or what have you, that just has free Wi-Fi. Now, it's not going to be a great connection, especially on those free networks, and I absolutely recommend, if you're going to be on those networks, that you have to accept the store's terms and conditions to get in. Use a VPN. There is no sponsor for this segment of the video or the stream. That's just basic internet protocol at this point. Those publicly open networks, you don't know who's on those. You have absolutely no idea the skill level of the people on those things. And if you're at a coffee shop with some rando... Never mind. They don't even have to look sketchy. Literally anybody on one of their devices in a coffee shop like that, if they're on that Wi-Fi network, if they're not using a VPN, their data is available to be seen by anyone who wants to look at it. So, yeah. VPNs are goated. Take the language final, even though I haven't been paying attention. There's no way that's it. If you say so. Today we take our final exam. Let's go. Which of the following means delicious?
I love you.
Angry.
Happy.
Labrador. C'est fini. Time is up. Posez vos stylos. Wait. Posez vos stylos. Is that... That's not Spanish. That is another Latin base. I'm not sure which one. Might actually just be Spanish, and I might just be stupid. Or at least... culturally insensitive, perhaps? No. Ignorant. Culturally ignorant. Five out of 5. Congratulations. Okay. 5 XP candy medium. Alright, well, I'm gonna break the recording here. So, for those of you on YouTube, if you like what you've seen so far, go ahead and drop a like on the video. Subscribe to the YouTube channel so you can keep up to date with all past and future stream recordings, or VODs, videos on demand. Plural. Follow my Twitter so you know when I plan on going live. Follow my Twitch so you know when I am live. Thank you all so much for watching. Those of you here on Twitch, don't go anywhere. I will be resuming here in just a few short moments. But YouTube, I will see you in the next one.